This is Ivan. Ivan is, according to some people, a cybercriminal sitting on a very large amount of stolen money. Ivan is also someone who attempted to buy his way into status in the CSGO community, dropping big bucks on skins and declaring his intent to revolutionize the scene as we know it. It did not go well, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at his brief and, for the most part, pretty disastrous time in the CSGO community. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. Just log in through Steam, add your trade link, and you're good to go. Just select the skins you want to trade and you'll have a trade offer within seconds. Any excess will be added to your balance, and if the skin you want isn't tradable, it can be reserved for you until it is. There's also a built-in high definition inspect feature, and if you're topping up, make sure to use the code Jesus to get an extra 5% bonus on the balance you deposit. Now, on top of this, the site also hosts daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, so even if you don't have skins, there is something here for you to check out. Great site, recommend having a look, link is in the description. So, who is this Ivan guy, anyway? He's a pretty recent appearance on the scene, and there's not much about him on the surface. He's got no username, his profile pic is an actual black hole, and his account isn't even 2 years old. So what's this guy done to make everyone think he's suspicious? Well, a couple of things. You see, starting in February, he began buying high-tier skins. It was gradual at first, but in the process, he did something that really caught people's attention. Basically, Ivan would, allegedly, pay whatever price traders asked for, and this led to a rush of people wanting to sell to him. Most traders are constantly dealing with lowballers and people wanting to buy at ridiculous prices, and having someone like Ivan come along and buy your stuff at a big juicy profit margin was basically a godsend, and as a result, Ivan soon had insane amounts of skins. It's a bit hard to keep track of all of it, but by the end of May, it seems like he had at least $500,000 in his inventory. Pretty impressive, but on its own, not really enough to get the public's attention these days. And he might have gone completely unnoticed if it wasn't for the fact that Ivan decided he also wanted some Twitter clout. So he set up an account with the handle Fist. Now, if he didn't want people asking questions about where he got his crypto from, this is definitely where he f***ed up, because 3 or 4 letter handles like this are frequently used by criminals. And when you put these two things together, it really raised some eyebrows. I mean, this guy with a dodgy Twitter handle is dumping lots of crypto into skins at above market prices. What does that sound like? Well, it probably won't shock you to hear that the rumor mill went into overdrive. Behind the scenes, people were saying some pretty serious stuff, but there wasn't immediately any hard evidence either. So to really get to the bottom of what's going on with Ivan, we need to have a look at his Twitter. Now, Ivan's allegedly dodgy background was not a barrier to acceptance in the community. The skins community as it is already overrun with scammers constantly trying to find new ways to scam people, and say what you will about Ivan, but when it came to skins, he paid really well, and if you do that, people will be willing to accept you. And when Ivan rocked up on the scene, people were open to him. I mean, here's this guy pumping a lot of money into skins. Why not give him a chance? I mean, the only person who can screw this up is Ivan himself, right? So, Ivan started off like most people in his position by flaunting the stupid amounts of money he was spending on skins. I mean, that's $80,000, $90,000 there, depending on how you count it. Now, it's important to note that he wasn't really flexing. Like, he wasn't trying to make other people feel poor. What he was trying to say though is that I am so rich that I can afford to be a complete fucking idiot with my money. Most of the time, these would be bait, but sometimes they weren't. For example, there was a time when he bought a Kato capsule for $13,000 and opened it on Twitter. It did not go well, but the point was that he could afford to do it. Now, this quickly led people to start comparing Ivan to Luna, an infamous collector with lots of money, poor investment skills, and even with social skills that basically got him laughed out of the community after buying high and selling low in 2021. Except, of course, Ivan actually seemed like a nice guy. Yes, Mr. Van is very friendly. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Well, on the 23rd of June, Ivan decided he was going to do a crown foil giveaway to farm up some Twitter followers, only he decided that the giveaway part of the giveaway was kind of optional, and after farming up 2,000 followers, he proceeded to delete his tweet and pretend it never happened. I have no idea why he did this. He could clearly afford it, but I guess it was just too much effort, and as a result, he found himself on the receiving end of his first ever Twitter call out, which he didn't take very well. In fact, he went to the DMs to call Ra broke, as if that's some kind of hot rebuttal when you've been called out for faking a giveaway. I mean, doesn't that make you the broke one here? Anyway, apparently he did, under pressure, make another tweet and ultimately give a crown foil away, but it is interesting that it only took a week for Ivan to start seeming like a raging egomaniac who felt his money put him above the rest of the community. I guess in fairness to him, people were trying to suck up to him a little bit. Even as all this was going on, he was still spending big bucks on skins, and if you look at his Twitter replies, you can see a lot of traders trying to flog off their high tier skins to him, so long as there was profit in it. Most of them were going to act nice, and even if that respect only goes as far as Ivan's ability to pay their buyouts, it may well have given him a false sense of status that he didn't really have. Now, Ivan would last, and I'm not joking, a whole extra 9 days in the community at this point before deleting his Twitter, and the progress of events here is just insane. Firstly, he bought this DreamHack Winter 2013 skin, no juicer, but still a nice craft, and decided to scrape the DreamHack sticker off. Now, unfortunately, what Ivan didn't realize is that there is a significant number of people in the community who actually appreciate souvenirs as a bit of CSGO history, and they were not very happy with him, resulting in a fair bit of Twitter drama. Next, Ivan declared he was going to stream. It never happened, but he sounds like he was pretty serious about it. Then he put up pictures of himself and his cat. Sadly, the picture isn't saved, although I believe it was a guy in a black hoodie holding a scruffy looking cat. And then he declared he was going to revolutionize the entire trading scene or something like that. It wasn't really clear what he wanted to do, and apparently he even got as far as making a team. He was going to do something. It's not quite clear what, but he was going to do something. A number of OGs actually questioned whether his tenure in the scene really was enough for him to embark on a project like this, but Ivan sounded invested, or at least he did until he deleted his Twitter several days later and has been radio silent ever since. He's still been buying skins though, lots of skins. Although his inventory is private, he appears to have at least $1 million of stuff in there. This includes a ×4 Hellraiser's Dragonlore, a ×4 LDLC Gungnir, a ×4 Titan Black Laminate, and a ×4 Iberpower Redline, plus a stack of underplayed Katos and high-end knives and a bunch of other stuff. And again, he's still buying stuff, he has not stopped, and it really begs the question, what the f is going on here? What is this guy's story arc? What is he trying to do? Well, one thing that is clear is that this is not someone who has respect for his money. He's clearly not worked hard for it, because if he had, he wouldn't be burning 13k on the spot for a Kato capsule like that. But does that mean he stole it though? Not necessarily either. Back in McSkillet's day, there was a guy called Darkness who bought 500k skins through crypto exactly the same way Ivan did. But Darkness didn't steal his money, he made it through bug bounties, and when Onopixel tracked him down, he was very happy to be interviewed about it. And it's entirely possible something similar is going on with Ivan. It's not out of the question that he just got rich some way and wants somewhere to put the money. And his behaviour definitely isn't consistent with a super criminal. I mean, why would he be talking about streaming or building a business? Like, I don't think these were psyops, I think he meant it. And if he's running from the law, that is a weird thing to do. Of course, it is also possible he's just really dumb, or completely unafraid of getting caught. It's hard to say. What is clear though is that he's definitely trying to convert a big chunk of his crypto into skins. Whether that's because he can't convert it into cash or just doesn't want to for tax reasons, that's hard to say. The most credible sounding story I heard claims he has as much as $10 million, so I don't think he's anywhere near done. I think he's going to buy a lot more stuff, and lots of people pay for skins with crypto. There's nothing weird about it. There's nothing wrong with doing it. The only reason people suspect Ivan in the first place is because of this stupid fucking Twitter handle. And I don't know why he thought it was a good idea, because otherwise no one would have paid any attention at all. But in fairness, when you look at his Twitter, it is clear he was kind of attempting to show off. Like, he really seems to want to impress people, and I think the handle, which would have been quite expensive, really was just part of that. But ultimately, he's run into the same problem every other rich arsehole in the skin scene has discovered, which is that this is not a community where you're going to be respected just for being rich. It's already full of people who've made their money through hard work, and they are not going to worship you just because you can drop $1 million on skins. In this space, if you want people to respect you, you need to demonstrate you're smart, you're thoughtful, and that you understand the nature of the scene. Ivan's behaviour was the opposite of this, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he deleted his Twitter. And while we might never know the truth about him, what it does show is that in the skin scene, true respect simply can't be bought. And I think that says something really good about it.